Coil. This is a fill-in video for the testing of Air for Band. I don't play in that song, so this is like a help video. This is probably going to have a lot of questions like my last video did for helping me with American Spectacular. I had more questions rather than playing. I hope that's okay, because, well, you did say to ask for help and stuff. So this song that I picked is Pride and Celebration. That's a different piece. So I had a question about the metronome marking for the beginning. Now I didn't want to guess for it because at 92 you had us take it at 138 beats per minute, and then later it slows down at 151 to go down to 72 beats per minute. Now I didn't know if there were other changes in the song to slow down or speed up besides like the accelerando, but that's when you conduct. So I didn't know what the metronome marking was. I assumed it was at 138 for the beginning, but I didn't want to just play that from a guess. So I just did an estimation of, like when I did my bingo video, I just did an estimation of the tempo. Sorry, I was sneezing before. So I had a question about that. I didn't know if it changed through the song in other places, or if it was just in those two places and the entire song basically was at 138 beats per minute. I had a question about the ties. I think you covered this in my lesson, but that was kind of a while ago. That I wanted to make sure. So I know it's backwards, but right there, and in many other measures, I have those notes where it's a dotted eighth, and then there's a tie. And I believe that you said not to play the second note that it was tied to, because that's what ties are. You just hit the first note and it's carried through the beat, if you will. Because the longer I looked at the paper, the more I confused myself. So I played it as like wait, hang on. So that's what I believe, because like I said, I kept confusing myself. That's what I believe is the and of 2. So it would be, so 1 and 2, but you don't play the, so 1 and 3, but you don't hear the 3 when I play, if I'm reading it correctly. Like I said, I kept confusing myself, and then I hit on 4. I wanted to make sure I was doing that correctly. Another thing was, I believe that right here, I'm going to use the bar after it, because, like I said, it repeats a lot of the song, so that's right here. Once again, I'm sorry that it's backwards. So I believe that those notes are, actually, I just did that wrong. I counted it wrong in my head. But I think it's 1, 3, and... Now that didn't make sense because I wasn't counting it and I didn't have a metronome. I'm sorry. But, I didn't know. I had a feeling that the last note before the 1 was the and of 4. But I didn't know if this was a 3 or if it was a 4. I had a feeling it was a 3 because it was not, bridged with it, but I just wanted to make sure. I know that probably doesn't make sense, and I'm sorry that I'm talking so long. What else? Oh, right here. So I didn't know if, I know I'm on bass drum, so I don't know if the value changes entirely, but right here, when it crescendos, that's a 1, and then that's 2, that's 3, which I don't hit, and then 4, and that is tied to the next 1. My question was, does this note have a different value because it's not filled in? I know that there's there's a title for it. I'm very sorry that I don't remember it, but I wanted to ask if there was a different value. Yes, I know that I have accents in certain places, I believe, so that's obviously differentiating things. So I went over the ties and the not filled in notes. Oh, I do have a question about taking things slow. So, when you test us on this song, and I know that I have resting here, but would you, this kind of goes along with my tempo question, would you want me to mark in where you would, like, I know it says, like, when you speed up and slow down, I believe. I believe it does. Yes, it does. Normally I'm not playing in those. I either just end or I come in right after. So, would you like me to, when I do practice and then like when you test us and I have the metronome and I'm playing through my song, would you like me to act as if you're there and you're slowing everything down in those pieces, in those bars, so that like I play it a certain way and then I like slow down my metronome? Or would you just rather us have it at each metronome marking a certain way and then play our parts? That's really it. Once again, I'm sorry that I talked a lot in this and I didn't really play too much. I only did like one thing, sorry. But yeah, I figured I'd ask questions first. Oh, and because I have a drum kit, not an actual drum, I know that stick heights will differentiate if I'm getting louder and softer, and I'm trying to do that along with accents if I have some. I wanted to know, like, this is a roll for the snare, and then I have a note under it. It doesn't say to carry it as the snare does, because they're rolling, but would I just, I guess because of the drum kit, would I just have it so that it, like, would I have it like that, or would I have it ring a bit? Like, I mean, I know that probably didn't show too much of a difference, but, yeah. Once again, sorry that I talk so gosh darn much. You did say that this is for asking for help, so I figured ask what I can. Yeah, I guess that's it, because I went over the tempo and like slowing down and stuff, speeding up. A lot of it is like just working on it on my own, like how to do the rhythms and stuff, but I also asked you about certain notes on the correct way of playing it and reading it, because I get ahead of myself sometimes. But yeah, so I hope that's okay, and I'm sorry I spoke so much.